The thing about fighting me is that you're not going to beat my ass. You're not going to beat my ass. You're not going to beat... I'm going to beat your pussy... you're going to beat this... I'm going to beat your pussy ass up.
I boo-hooed. I said, oh, the club put me in there. No. I put myself in there. I did what I had to do as a Hell's Angel.
You know, my daddy always, if you got in a fight and you came home with a bloody nose, did you hit him back? If you didn't hit him back, Dad put you in the car and took you back over there until you're going up in that yard and get your shit done and be a man.
They got their walls drove through by gangs, by the FBI gang, and all that shit happened to that chapter, right? Like those guys go through their being a big motorcycle club, even sometimes just being a small motorcycle club, you go through your.
A lot of people that have come in have seen definitely a change in the club and the direction that the club is going.
I looked out my window and you could see a body laying out in front. And here's this dude running around up there with no, just had his sweatshirt on. And he tells me he's a Hell's Angel. Even after all that, I still wanted to join the Hell's Angels.
People out there, man, that are just natural followers. And they just fall right in line with that type of program. But not 1%ers, man. 1%ers don't ask permission.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin With Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about the crazy attendance for Crazy Phil, the Hell's Angel that passed away. There was complications due to a shooting that happened in 2016, and obviously he was a well-liked member. A lot of people knew him. He was an Olympic boxer. Shout out to everybody that watches this show. I really appreciate you. If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother, sister, friend about Chattin With Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. If you want to donate to the show, you can hit up the Cash App at Chattin With Staxx, or you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all that good stuff. I appreciate every single dollar. It goes right back into the show so I can bring you the dopest content possible. If you want to tell your story on Chattin With Staxx, just email me at billstaxx2021@gmail.com and we'll make it happen. My apologies for not being live the last couple of days. I've been doing a lot of interviews, trying to stack them up for you guys so I could bring you guys longer interviews. I just did a hour-and-a-half interview with a former Hell's Angel prospect. It's a really good one. You guys don't want to miss that. That one's going to be dropping soon. I got a lot of content on the way. Tonight, there's an interview dropping. It's not part 5, but it's with Scott Anthony. He's the author of Smoke, From Chicago Street Gang to Smuggling Cuban Cigars. He has a wild story. Check out that interview. It drops tonight. Part 1 drops tonight. And it's a pretty long interview, so it's not all quick. Let me give a couple of shout outs before we get started. CMC, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. Mike, what's good? Let's fucking go. Comments make you angry. How are you? We got Ra in the building. I remember when the Nomad chapter was set up and the whole beef happened between Ontario and Quebec, between members of the same club. I'm sure it happens more often than people hear about, right? He was originally SC. Yeah, that's right. Harley was saying that he was a good dude. And so what? He was back in the day before they patched over? Because I know they patched over in what, 2000? Or, yeah, 2000, right? I'm here supporting Broski. I appreciate it, man. If you want a good interview, you have to get a hold of Hammer. Who's that? Have him hit me up, man. Set it up, bro. I'm always down to do interviews all the time. I've been banking a bunch of interviews. I got a lot of interviews. I interviewed Let's see here. Taz. He was a 12th Street Players gang chief. Taz from Chicago. He is in the Red Onion right now in Virginia prison. He unalived somebody, assaulted guards. Both of his sons passed away since he's been in prison. He explains a whole crazy situations to me. So I spoke to him the other day and we recorded the interview. Hey, 1964 Flyers, how you doing? Keep up the great work, Staxx. Shout out to Ontario. No doubt, 100%. You already know. Wait till you guys hear this interview that I did. And I just did a part 2 with him. And that one's an hour and a half. So I got 3 hours with this one dude. And it's pretty dope. Hey, Staxx, hand down. You put out the best biker content. I appreciate that. Thank you. We got a lot of content coming this week. I've been off a couple days, but you know, I've been gathering information for you guys. So we're going to be talking about. So this week, we're going to be talking about the 1.5% that is on the infamous Vixens. Like, what? 1.5%? My question is, since when do women start wearing diamonds? I've heard that there has been women that wear certain diamonds that are with other big major clubs. One of them happens to be the Banditos. And there was females close to them that were wearing diamonds. But I've never heard of that before. So if anyone has information, and I heard of one other one. So if anyone else has any information about that type of stuff, please let me know. Please enlighten me. This week, we're going to talk about the shooting that happened in the Ozarks. Well, the murder that happened in the Ozarks. The young Mongol that was murdered in the Ozarks, the 3 people that pled guilty. It's a lot deeper than you think. And they don't even name him in the article. Like, I don't get it. It's very weird. And if you guys want to see that new video of the whole situation that happened in Chicago, go to Patreon. You can see the video now. It's a different video than anybody has seen before. It is not the same video that's floating around. And on top of that, I got an interview I did with Michael McCollum. He passed away earlier this year. He was a Hell's Angel out of Chicago with Mel Chancey and all them guys. So that one's going to be dropping, but you got to check out Patreon to see it. It's going to be on Patreon first. So the first thing that we're going to get into, and sending prayers out to everyone who was in a motorcycle accident recently. There's been a lot of them. We're going to talk about some of them tomorrow. Let's see here. So this is out of Australia. Australia's last biker stronghold. Detectives warn criminal clubs could explode as alleged drug kingpin empire crumbles. The downfall of an alleged outlaw motorcycle club drug empire has reignited fierce debate over Australia's fight against organized crime, with senior investigators warning that the Northern Territory remains one of the nation's weakest links in battling the outlaw motorcycle clubs. I think they go way too overboard over there in Australia. What are your thoughts on the way that they police these motorcycle clubs in Australia? I mean, banning a patch and banning people from associating with each other is just insane. It says, as police celebrate major blow against alleged criminal networks, Experienced detectives are sounding the alarm that the Northern Territory law continues to leave authorities with fewer tools than their counterparts in nearly every other Australian jurisdiction. Al Roseberry, what's good, man? How you doing? Picks from the Six. How are you? He was an OG choice from Sudbury. Damn, I'm sure a lot of them didn't want to patch over when the Angels came, but they were huge at that time, and they were new to that area, right? So I'm sure it was like, they were like, hell yeah, let's all just do it. But I'm sure there was some reluctance from some people, and maybe they walked away. I don't know. I do want to talk to some people who were a part of that patch over. If anyone out there knows anybody that will tell me this story about the patch over that was involved, maybe they were in Satan's Choice and they left, or they patched over into the Angels. If anybody knows of anyone that would tell me that story, please tell them to hit up the email, get us in touch. Aussie, how you doing? Thank you for joining me today. So at the center of the controversy grows the Territory becoming one of the last places in Australia where members of outlaw motorcycle clubs can openly wear their club colors. Good. The only last place of freedom there, you mean? They could wear their colors in public without facing the possible same legal restrictions seen everywhere else. Well, good. They should have somewhere they could wear their colors and not be harassed by the police. For organized crime investigators, that visibility is about more than leather vests and patches. They argue it represents influence, recruitment, intimidation, and the public display of power that criminal organizations have spent decades cultivating. Frog. Staxx, just hit up Frog, the source. Yeah, you're right. They should. So what do you guys think of this situation where they're trying to ban? And I want to know if anyone has experience in Australia. And I got a couple people that I interviewed from Australia, and I'm going to ask them. I'm going to say, what about like the Heathens? Are they banning that club too? Or are they in a different area? Because I interviewed some Heathens from Australia, and they didn't say anything about this situation. So I don't know. I don't think Harley's dad will do an interview, man. Highly doubt it. But I might be able to get the other guy on the line. The one that did an interview with Biker News Canada. Shout out to Biker News Canada. One of the co-founders. For organized crime investigators, the visibility isn't about leather and patches. It argues that they use intimidation, public display of power, and criminal organizations have spent decades cultivating the drug empires under pressure. The latest concern emerges as authorities dismantle what investigators allege was a significant drug trafficking operation connected to senior outlaw motorcycle club figure. Police believe the investigation dealt a substantial blow to organized criminal operations, disrupting drug distribution networks, exposing a financial infrastructure behind the alleged enterprise. While investigators describe the operation as a major success, because when major successes happen, right, they fall apart. Hammer was part of Jarvis' crew during the Project Retire. Oh yeah, he told me about that. Bob did. And Harley's current two guys switched teams and spread the patch east. There's documentaries on it as well, I think. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out, man. I'll look deeper into it. I got so many different things I'm doing, but I definitely will do that. I want to hear that story too. So History has shown that when criminal networks fall, rival groups often moving quickly to fill the vacuum, and that's what happens. That possibility has authorities concerned. Of course they're gonna. Like when one drops, one pops up, right? That's how it always goes. They're not going to eliminate the problem entirely. That will never happen. It says right here, rather than eliminating the problem entirely, investigators feel that the collapse of one operation could trigger renewed competition among outlaw motorcycle clubs seeking to expand their influence across the territory. Now, when they are targeting these outlaw motorcycle clubs, I guarantee you there's other people setting up shop because those people are not being looked at, right? So they're focusing on people that maybe aren't part of the problem. And I don't know how it is in Australia. I don't know. Maybe it's different there. I don't know. The Northern Territory stands apart, unlike several Australian states that have the sweeping anti-bikie legislation over the past 2 decades. The Northern Territory are comparatively limited laws specific targeting outlaw motorcycle clubs. That's good, though, right? The bigger clubs are just gangs now, not clubs. They're full of wannabe pretty boy gangsters who've never rode a bike in their life and do drive-bys and murder all the time now. That's crazy. Yeah, they wear designer shirts and shit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having but they're not the style of biker, like the old school greasy type of biker, because that's what it used to be. They didn't care what people thought of them. They didn't have designer sunglasses on and all this shit. They had dirty pants and dirty cuts. I mean, I guess there still are some out there, but that's a dying breed, you know. My dad used to hang out with a lot of people that were like that. So supporters argue the measures have significantly reduced the public presence of outlaw motorcycle clubs. Critics, however, have questioned whether such laws sometimes overreached by affecting individuals who have not been convicted of any criminal offenses. And I think that's 100% true. You're targeting people that have not been convicted of shit just because they're a part of certain clubs. And they do that here in the U.S. too. I mean, down in Florida, in Texas, they've done it. And that's crazy. They don't go after the people that they should go after. Bikers protect their community. They're family men. They have families. They have kids. They have wives. They have jobs. They're not just people that aren't doing anything with their self, you know? I mean, to be in some of these top clubs, you got to have money. You can't be a nobody with no job and be in any of these clubs. They don't take just losers, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong. Some slip through the cracks, but a lot of these big clubs, they won't take people that are unemployed or unemployable, that just sit around all day and don't do nothing with their life. They don't do that. The Gymster, what's going on? Thank you for joining me. I mean, I guess maybe there's some clubs out there that will take people like that, but there's not a lot. You have to have money to be able to maintain a motorcycle, pay all your bills, go on all those runs. It takes a lot of money, you know. Detectives call for stronger powers, so they want to put the hammer down even harder. Senior detective specializing in organized crime investigations says the current legal framework places Northern Territory at a disadvantage. According to investigators, outlaw motorcycle clubs often use their highly recognizable colors not simply as a symbol to identify, but as a tool of intimidation, recruitment, and territorial influence. Law enforcement officials argue that allowing these public displays can strengthen the perception of power within the criminal organization. Investigators are now urging lawmakers to consider stronger legislation designed to disrupt organized criminal networks before violence escalates. Their concern is not limited to drug trafficking alone. Authorities say outlaw motorcycle club investigations frequently involved allegations of firearm offenses, extortion, money laundering, assaults, organized violence, making proactive enforcement increasingly important. You see what I'm saying? I don't think that the police should be poking and prodding into crimes that aren't there. They should only come when they're needed. I don't understand why they need to be out enforcing laws instead of just, you know what I mean, right? The police are there to protect and serve, but they don't do that. They harass and look for problems. There's more corrupt police officers in the world than there are of bad bikers that are in clubs. How many people in the chat would rather have bikers protecting your neighborhood than the police? The police don't do shit. The debate surrounding anti-bikey legislation has always balanced public safety against civil liberties. Police maintain that enhanced powers are necessary to dismantle sophisticated criminal organizations who operated extended far beyond the motorcycle culture. Civil rights advocates, meanwhile, have consistently argued that the laws targeting associations rather than individual criminal conduct, and that is 100% true. They are going after individuals just because they have cuts on. Bikers protect better for sure, 100%. I mean, we're going to do a little tally, right? I'm going to look it up on how many corrupt police officers in certain places, especially in Canada. It's insane. I think it was like, so 200 bikers got swept up in an indictment, right? 400 police officers got swept up in an indictment. So who's the problem? It's more than double the number of people when it comes to police officers, but the bikers are the problem. Insane. Don't get me wrong, there are a select few that are not good for the community, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about the majority. The majority are. They're not bad people. The debate is once again taking center stage in the Northern Territory as investigators point to recent organized crime investigations as evidence that the criminal network remains active. Political pressure is mounting to determine whether existing laws are sufficient to meet evolving threats. The future of organized crime enforcement. Authorities acknowledge that dismantling one of the alleged criminal enterprises represents an important victory, but experienced investigators caution that organized criminals rarely disappear. They adapt. Whether new leadership emerges within existing clubs or rival organizations attempt to seize new territory remains an open question. What about the other groups that are operating in that area? They don't go after them, right? Because they don't wear a cut. So they just let them operate. So what is clear, according to detectives, is the Northern Territory now finds itself at the center of Australia's ongoing debate over how best to combat organized crime while preserving individual freedom. I mean, if you're going after people just because they wear a patch, then you are taking away their right to express themselves. You can't wear that patch. I mean, this guy just got arrested for wearing a belt. They threw him in prison. He had to sit in jail all night because he wore a belt. He gave his shirt to a homeless guy, and he gets arrested because the belt was in public view when he took his shirt off. So as lawmakers weigh in, calls for tougher legislation. The outcome could shape the future of outlaw motorcycle club enforcement across one of Australia's last jurisdictions where club colors still remain a common public sight. So I think it'll be bad if they ban them all around. It's going against everything that freedom is about, you know? It's fucking crazy. So today we are here to talk about Crazy Phil. Crazy Phil was a pretty bigger than life individual. He was an Olympic boxer. He went to the Olympics. And he was a part of the Hells Angels motorcycle club. I guess he patched over for Saint Choice, from what I hear. That's what people are saying. But he was shot. Dane Brockovich, yeah. That's a famous Dane Brockovich who bashed the Rebels president in 2020. It was 3 weeks before he was shot dead. Damn. Dane Brockovich still alive, right? He's still alive. Are you talking about the Rebels president, right? Was shot dead 2020, just 3 weeks before he was shot dead. So Crazy Phil, he was shot. And this is the article I'm reading here is from 2016. Says a GoFundMe aimed to get Phil Broderick back on his bike. Former Olympic boxer and longtime Hells Angel member Phil. Am I butchering the last name? Probably. We'll just say Crazy Phil has made good progress in his recovery from a shooting this past spring, according to a GoFundMe page set up by his girlfriend to help with medical costs. Sudbury native who lived in Quebec was shot in the back while riding his motorcycle. Damn, on April 16th, he was shot. Police linked the shooting to organized crime. Am I butchering that? Broderick? He had a punctured lung and serious injuries, including pieces of shrapnel lodged in his vertebrae, prompting doctors to place him in an induced coma for a time. Since then, he has reportedly made strides in his recovery, but he needs help with his medical bills. Thankfully, it is an incomplete injury and the right to rehabilitation to get him back on his feet, his girlfriend wrote. The progress has been amazing, yet extremely difficult due to the amount of pain and costly medical bills and supplies are not covered. After several months of trying to keep up with the cost of living and the extra costs, we come to the realization that it's impossible without the help of our family and friends. Let's get Phil the equipment and supplies he needs to recover the fullest potential and get him back on his bike. We love him so much, they said. I mean, was a crazy situation. He almost passed away because of that. And they raised $17,377 out of $50,000. He had two $5,000 donations. That's pretty big. It says on April 16th, 2016, Phil suffered a gunshot wound to his back, causing him to go into a spinal shock. Thankfully, it is a very incomplete injury, right? Rehabilitation to get him on his feet. It's the same thing what it said before. So it says here, hundreds take part in Sudbury Hells Angel Memorial Biker Procession. Hundreds of bikers wearing motorcycle club colors rolled through Greater Sudbury June 27th as part of a memorial ride organized by the Hells Angels for late Phil. So I wonder if any Satan's Choice showed up here and if they invited the Choice to show up, just like Satan's Choice said that it was okay for the Hells Angels to show up to their other members, their former members' funeral, but I don't think any of them showed up. It was a memorial ride for Crazy Phil, a former Sudbury Olympic boxer and outlaw biker who died January 20th, just shy of his 51st birthday. Crazy funeral run, referring to Boudreault, nicknamed Crazy, DD Diner in Albin, for a ride to East Valley Cemetery where Beaumont's body were to be interred. A poster for the event said there would be a dinner followed by memorial boxing matches and parties to follow after the fights. And they were warning about all these people showing up to their community. I'm like, damn, they really don't accept people, really, right? In that area. They're like, boxers are bikers are showing up to the community. Lock your doors. Just crazy. So here's a video. A lot of people showed up. Yeah, no one calls that Crazy Phil from Philly. Nobody calls him Crazy Phil. Hey Todd, what's up, man? Thank you for joining me. There's a lot of different clubs that went here too. Yeah, Nick Martin. I remember when that happened. So it says here. Hold on. The event attracted the attention of several onlookers who sat along the bike procession, came to the cemetery. A Valcaron resident even had a tarp painted with the words RIP Crazy displayed alongside MR80. Social media post, the Greater Sudbury police alerted the community to traffic disruptions. Highly visible police presence, of course, because they think it's going to be trouble, right? They automatically, oh, they're coming to town. It's going to be trouble. Everybody watch out. But there's no trouble. They're going there to honor their friend and brother. They're not going there to cause trouble. I'm sure the police are there taking pictures of everyone too. While the event, here, let me see if I can do this. You see, yeah.
Hundreds of bikers wearing motorcycle club colors rode through Greater Sudbury June 27 as part of a memorial ride organized by the Hells Angels for the late Phil Boudreault, a former Sudbury Olympic boxer and
Boudreault.
outlaw biker who died January 20, just shy of his 51st birthday. Crazy's funeral run, referring to Boudreaux's nickname, Crazy, started at DD's Diner in Albin, with a ride to the Valley East Cemetery, where Boudreaux's remains were to be interred. A poster for the event also said there would be a dinner at the Caruso Club, followed by memorial boxing matches and parties to follow after the fights. The event attracted the attention of several onlookers, who sat out along the bike procession or came to the cemetery. A Val-Caron resident even had a tarp painted with the words, "Rip Crazy," displayed alongside Mr. 80. In a social media post, Greater Sudbury police alerted the community to traffic disruptions and a highly visible police presence this weekend due to the ride and
Craig, what's up?
associated events taking place. Bikers converge on the Valley East Cemetery during a memorial bike run for Phil Boudreault. Heidi Ulrichsen, Sudbury. While the event involves a prominent outlaw motorcycle club, police emphasized that there is no evidence of an active threat, though they urge residents to maintain their distance. Community members are reminded not to engage with or confront individuals associated with outlaw motorcycle gangs, the release states. At this time, there is no indication of a specific threat to public safety related to this event. Boudreault is the only boxer from Sudbury to compete at the Summer Olympics, representing Canada at the 1996 Games in Atlanta, where he nearly won a medal. Boudreault later transitioned into professional boxing, competing until an injury forced his retirement in 2009. As a young man, he balanced his boxing career while maintaining membership in the Satan's Choice Outlaw Motorcycle Club, which later merged with the Hells Angels. Boudreault rose through the ranks to become a high-ranking member of the motorcycle club. He also served prison time for a 2004 altercation involving a father and son at a bar. In 2016, Boudreault survived a shooting while riding his motorcycle with his girlfriend in Quebec. Although the incident confined him to a wheelchair and led to subsequent health battles with infections and sepsis, which ultimately took his life. Friends of Boudreault told Sudbury.com he was a beloved member of the Sudbury community, particularly for his willingness to support young people who may be on the road to ruin. As he hated the winter, they said his loved ones and member brothers waited for the summer to honor him. Check out our photos of the memorial ride through event below. The gravesite for the late Phil Boudreault, or Crazy. Heidi Ulrichsen, Sudbury. Bikers converge on the Valley East Cemetery.
Oh, that wasn't it. Hold on, I'll give you the nice rest. Let's see. I did hear that he was part of Satan's Choice. I did not know that.
Ulrichsen.
I thought Harley just knew him from when he was. I thought Harley just knew him when he was in the Hells Angels with him. I did not know that he was part of Satan's Choice too. But Harley wasn't Satan's Choice before they patched over. You know?
Valley East Cemetery during a memorial bike run for Phil Boudreault. Heidi Ulrichsen, Sudbury. Bikers converge on the Valley East Cemetery during a memorial bike run for Phil Boudreault. Heidi Ulrichsen, Sudbury. Bikers converge on the Valley East Cemetery during a memorial bike run for Phil Boudreault. Heidi Ulrichsen, Sudbury.
It's just repeating itself? What the hell is that all about? Anyway. What do you guys think of that? A lot of people showed up for him. Hey, I hope that happens when I pass away. A lot of people show up for me. We'll see, right? Hey, did any of you guys see that new movie that is getting banned in other countries and it's banned in Germany? Vigilante, Citizen Vigilante, it's called. You can watch it on X, allegedly. And Here's a crazy situation that happened in a street takeover in California. Let me see here. I got some good shows for you guys coming up this week. And I told you guys that they denied what's his name? John A. Lyre's bond. They denied his bond. So I got a little video to show you guys. Maybe you'll have some laughs, right? We'll have some laughs this Sunday. Hold on, let me find it for you. You guys will enjoy this one. Here we go. Check it out.
Now saying that he wasn't actually threatening these people.
Gutting people like fish.
That the guy that he got locked up with was actually using his name to threaten people.
Beating him so he goes to the hospital.
So therefore that changes everything. There's no proof, I believe, that Johnny Eli was threatening anybody.
Cracking his jaw.
Which I thought
that are referenced throughout the complaint.
Makes sense, you know what I'm saying?
With regards to the baseball bat across the head, with regards to gutting people like fish.
Johnny wasn't on that time no more.
Beating him so he goes to the hospital.
I hope they give him bail. I think they're going to.
Cracking his jaw.
He has a heart condition. He's 64 years old. You know, as far as I know, he was never doing no stuff like that.
With regards to other references.
I don't believe any of this stuff. I believe this was a political move. I think they want him out of his seat.
That are referenced throughout the complaint.
And this is how they got him. They looked for anything.
Beating him so he goes to the hospital.
And I think he was doing hard money loans, which is legal.
Cracking his jaw.
And they turned it into something else.
Baseball bat across the head.
Let's pray for Johnny. Hopefully he gets out at 2 o'clock today, you know. He'll come right out and get back to
gutting people like fish pertaining to etc. that are referenced throughout the complaint.
I hope they give him bail. I think they're going to.
Even if you win the rat race, you're still a rat. That's so funny. He's like, I don't think he did any of this. They're reading it right in court what he did. He said someone else was threatening the people. No, they weren't. Johnny Eli thinks he's a gangster. And he's getting what gangsters get, right? Go be a gangster. Go be a gangster, man. Go help the kids. I thought you were helping the kids. Now they're going to take every word he said, right? Did you hit him with the baseball bat? Yes, I did. Remember that? He went viral for it. Did you do this? Yes, I did. Did you do this? Yes, I did. He's going to be in court like, oh, man, I shouldn't have said that. Go viral real quick, right? And now what? Now you got to eat them words. So we'll see what happens. He wants to be on the internet bragging and all that. I bet you any money the court ain't going to look at that like it's a good thing. You can't be on the internet bragging about violence and then go to court for some shit like that. They will use it against you. So he could be the gangster, and we'll see who he'll try to tell on this time. And the funny thing was, Barillo Lips was like, I would never tell on John A. Light. You would tell on your own mother. Stop fucking lying. You dirtbag. You guys will always be dirtbags. You are dirtbags and you'll always be dirtbags. But if you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother, sister's friend about Chattin With Staxx, the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. I got some mafia content coming too, so stay tuned. And remember, don't be a bitch.
An all-new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now, accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.